Trump in the past has talked about negotiating land swaps as part of a peace deal. That, of course, has made Ukraine and its European allies very uncertain, to say the least. I'm told that this question of boundaries lingers over today's talks. That's according to history professor at MIT, Elizabeth Wood. As she points out, Putin and other high-ranking Russian officials have expressed views that undermine Ukraine's right to exist within its current borders. And that's stoking fears that Putin could convince Trump that Ukraine should give up its land.
It's concerning for Poland, it's concerning for the Czechs and Slovaks, it's concerning for all the neighbors. And it's significant that Russia has had overlordship over most of Eastern Europe at one point or another. And aside from Orban in Hungary, none of them consider Russia a reliable or a desirable close partner. The other concern that affects both Europe and potentially Canada is appeasement in 1938 in the war, and Canadians know their history better than Americans do, led to full-scale war.
That makes the gesture of holding these talks in Alaska pretty significant for a couple of reasons. Chief among them being, of course, talks are being held on land that used to belong to the Russian Empire. So it's easy to imagine a scenario in which Putin makes the point that borders can change. But these talks are also happening near the Arctic, which is strategically important to both presidents, but also a critical Canadian national interest.
I'm thinking here of the Canadian perspective that, Canada has a great deal of interest in and work on the Arctic. And if they were talking about demilitarizing the Arctic, I would be in heaven. Canada has tried very hard to hold the line on that with, Russia building more and more bases in the Arctic, planting flags on the North Seas. It's really quite dangerous moment there, too.
And you can hear my entire conversation with Professor Wood on today's episode of the Big Story podcast.
We'll be sure to tune in. Karen Solon reporting for us in studio. Thank you.
Thank you.